everyone! Welcome to Emphy's Soft Sanity episode 6, chat stream 5. I'm here with Butter.
Hello, hi, happy to be here, happy to be seen. Yeah.
Yeah. How's your week or day been? Whichever you'd like to answer.
Day's been fine. Week has been so immediately to go on a side tangent. I've been prepping for a trip and I got stuck on money collecting duty, so I've had to relearn math. But other than that, I can say it's been a great week. It's been lots of prep, but I've been out and about more than usual, which I will take as an absolute dub. How about yours? How's your week been?
Mine's been pretty good. Mostly just like drawing and like working on schoolwork. It's been like the usual, and like recovering from sickness, which has not been fun. I haven't been able to sing or do like anything, but
The rock consumes, but not today.
yeah. But now I can actually stream again, so yay! So let's get started with our questions. So what sort of mental health struggles or emotional struggles have you been facing lately?
Okay, so lately it's been more of the usual. Most of it originates from a combination of big EBCB and big paranoia, in more medical terms, social anxiety and narcolepsy. Yeah, I won't say I'm struggling with them particularly, but outside of those, that's about, what I've dealt with in my life and is what I deal with today. Alex, I just saw in the chat, Mr. Cap Crab Cove, he can attest. I lose fights to the couch all the time due to the EBCD.
So how does this affect your mental health on a usual day?
So, as others can attest once again, social anxiety is a bit of a stinker just because I tend to be paranoid a lot that my friends want to get rid of me behind my back. That's something I've dealt with for a while. And with the whole falling asleep thing, I like to say I can time travel. I just can't choose when or where, because I'll close my eyes on the couch 1 minute and I'm waking up like, God, it's 4 a.m. Every muscle in my body is complaining, and I feel like lead.
Oh no. Yeah, I struggle with a bit of social anxiety myself, though it's a bit different. It's more of I'm just scared of people in general. It takes like a lot of like talking and like practice talking to people to get more comfortable, but like normally I have to like prepare myself before I even talk to people because I get scared.
You're gonna have to hear me out before I finish the sentence. I used to be that way, and then I embraced the jumping off a cliff method.
Oh my god.
You're gonna have to... Now wait, hear me out. Wait
okay, I'll hear you out.
With anxiety, I have found the worst part of it to be the anticipation. That's what anxiety is, right? Overthinking before anything actually happens. It's like, to compare it to a physical sensation, it's like trying to break through a tight layer of plastic wrap, right? You're pushing and you're pushing, but once you're through, it's over. Once you're through, you're good. So what I've taken to doing is like jumping into a cold pool. I just kind of fling myself into it, and in the end, it doesn't turn out half as bad as it would have been if I let myself sit there and think about it. And I definitely know this method is not for everybody, but this is how I've personally overcome some of my older, like, oh my god, people are scary. Yeah.
I know that's definitely one method. For me, it's just been like prepping myself ahead of time, I guess, rather than like diving in, because I know I've had bad experiences diving in head first, because with the TISM I didn't understand all the social cues, so I'd get like ousted really quickly because I'd say something wrong, or like I would be really strange and weird.
I get that.
Yeah, so for me, it was a lot of practicing and like being like, oh, this is what you do. You say like, how's your day been? And like small talk and like all this stuff I had to practice.
Small talk seems to be an inescapable beast for even for those who are entirely mentally sound, and that helps a bit too, knowing that kind of sort of everybody struggles with it to a degree. Struggling a little more, it's understandable, it makes it tougher, but like it helps. As much as this seems like an awful thing to say, it helps to know that everybody struggles with it. Just
True. Yeah. It's
I don't
something
know
we
why
all
I'm
have to
making
go
the instant
through.
gesture, like you can see it.
Oh, I move my hands and stuff too, so.
Dude, I am both homosexual and Italian. When I am talking, my hands are moving.
Yeah.
I gotta pop the show, man. Anyway, sidetrack aside before it can begin. Yeah. Anything else on the topic you want to talk about?
So let's go to our next question. How do you cope with such issues, or try to cope with such issues?
Well, first and foremost, I've already talked about the cliff method, as I have so lovingly
Yes.
dubbed. I also just kind of ask for affirmation sometimes, which is a lot simpler said than done. Just because, I'm asking my friends to know if they like me. I feel so narcissistic. But genuinely, it helps a ton just to ask, "Hey, do you guys actually like me?" And then they go, "Yes." And then I go, "Okay, cool. The voices have been silenced for another month more." But yeah, just kind of sort of asking for affirmation from the people you care about, asking them to also being very, very firm and getting them to tell you when you do wrong as well helps. Just because, in order to do what's right, you got to know what you're doing wrong. Sometimes friends they'll try not to hurt your feelings, and so they won't tell you what you're doing wrong, and that helps in the short term. But like when you get into interactions with actual people, that comes back to bite you. So
Yeah.
I always try and be firm with my friends. Hey, if I'm being an idiot, tell me if I'm being an idiot. And if the voices are ever getting loud, I just gotta say, hey, do you guys actually enjoy having me around? And I am very grateful that the answer is usually yes.
Oh, yeah.
Usually. The exception being social deduction games, because I lie through my teeth like a bastard.
True. Anyways, so do you feel successful at handling it using these methods?
I definitely have my weaker days. I will admit that wholeheartedly. There are definitely days where it gets the better of me, and narcolepsy itself as well. That one has been getting a better grip on me, unfortunately, in recent times, just because I get tired after work. I think, I'm gonna take a nice sit on the couch after standing behind the cash register all day, and then I blink and it's tomorrow. I'm like, oh damn. But for the most part, I'm doing all this. I'm making assets for stream. I'm making art. I'm video editing in the background. I'll say I'm more successful than I thought I would be, and I'm happy with where I am.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Hi, Jacob. Hello.
Hello, person.
And sorry, Megalogero. I turned off some of the distracting stuff, like throws and bonks, for this type of stream, just to keep it on topic. So I apologize.
Throw, does that mean you could ragdoll your VTuber?
Sadly, no, it means you could toss things at me. But I have a 3D model version that one can be ragdolled and tossed.
Yeah, you can't see it, but I'm pumping my fist into the sky. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to bring it back one of these days. So let's see. How do you think we could improve at handling such issues in general or personally?
Well, first and foremost, when it comes to the narcolepsy, I could not sit on the couch when I feel tired.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to anxiety, normalize asking for affirmation. That is the biggest thing. That's the biggest help. Just kind of, because it feels vain, right? Because nobody ever tells you, hey, it's okay to ask people if they like you. Nobody ever really brings it up, because why would you? Usually most people are confident enough that the people they keep in their close circle like them. But just kind of sort of every once in a while, maybe in the younger years, maybe in the older ones, say it's okay to ask for people's opinions on you, see if they like you, see if they don't. If they don't, it's okay to separate healthy, and if they do, it's once again okay to ask them to remind you that every once in a while, because the brain be the big stupid sometimes, and the think need no do the thinking.
Yeah, sometimes we just need reassurance, and sometimes we have thoughts that are not exactly realistic and need to be not removed, but what's the word? It's kind of like
curbed.
Yes.
Silence.
Yeah.
Because I know what you call it. I will get a bit into depth with it. I don't think abandonment anxiety is the right word, but I have a very, very big fear that my friends don't actually like me, that I'm just kind of being tolerated, and that behind my back there are plots to either get rid of me or sabotage me in some way or some other shape and form. Something that didn't help when a group of friends actually wound up doing that to me, just kind of ghosting me with no sort of notification, which the others can tell you they didn't like it. But Yeah, just kind of asking for help every once in a while. I know it's much simpler said than done. Simple does not equate to easy. It is not at all easy to ask people for this, especially if you already feel like you're a burden because they're like, "Oh, I'm asking them to take time out of their day and maybe write something nice about me." And yeah. It's okay if they care about you. They're more than willing to do that. I'm very very fortunate to have people who are more than willing to do that.
Yeah. Honestly, I've been there where like I've had a friend group like abandon me before. Very slowly, like they've slowly like replaced me. So I've kind of been in that position, and ever since then it was really hard to like um I guess like recover and
Yeah.
like not constantly hold on to those people and find new people. It's taken years even. It's not easy to like get rid of those like thoughts and whatnot.
Because there are people who will be mad at you, right? And they can
Yeah.
make you feel upset, but nobody can really hurt you like the people you lay your arm over. And that's the core of the issue. Nobody can really hurt you as badly as those who are putting an arm around your shoulder. And at the same time,
Yeah.
nobody can really uplift you like those people. So, paranoid speaking aside, it is very important to have people like that in your life. People who care about you, people who you can let get close and not put up a facade around. But
yes, it's really important.
It's a tricky balance to tackle, like most things in life.
Yeah. What are ways we could raise awareness for such issues?
Well, what you call it? School helps. School definitely helps because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, mental health stuff has to be ingrained when young. I know, like I mentioned in the call before VC, both of my parents are educators, and my mother particularly helps a lot of special education students, and she talks about needing to give them a little bit of personal attention to correct them, which is the most important thing, because
Mm-hmm.
just like a lot of friends, a lot of teachers will overlook like, oh, they're and okay, I gotta word this right. Mental health should always be an explanation, but should never be an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
If your kid, say, has a behavioral disorder, it should explain why they're acting the way they are, but that is in no way a green light to let them act like that, just like anybody else. They have to be taught, you know, in their own special way, how to manage what makes them different. And, I mean, I sound cold saying that, but I really don't mean to be. It's, what you call it? They've got to be taught ways to, you know, socialize and be people and do what they can despite the ways that they're different. Because, you know, it helps. I'm struggling to word this, but I have a feeling you're getting what I'm trying to get.
I think I understand. So basically, you're saying that with their struggles, they should learn not necessarily to overcome it, but work through it in order to
curing or getting rid of it is a bad mentality to have, just because it's always going to be with you. It's the way your brain is wired, and I don't know if we sci-fi'd that far into the future, but we can't rewind our brains, to my knowledge. So for better or for worse, you're stuck with you. Instead of learning to push you away, you should learn to work with you.
Yeah.
From the day you're born to the day you die, the person looking back in the mirror is the one you're stuck with. So it is always better to learn to cooperate than to suppress and overcome, because it's you.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you think awareness for this is important?
Definitely. I definitely feel like the awareness of not just my thing, but like everybody's stuff should be. In the modern era, I do think we do a pretty okay job at getting it out there and being more considerate. There's definitely room to improve. Do not misunderstand, but I'd say compared to the ages where we compared to the ages of the loony bins, I say we're doing a much better job.
Yeah.
Not a very high bar to pass, but I say we're doing a much better job than straight jackets and electricity. We still got a way to go because these things can't be fully understood, and the brain is an indefinitely complex thing. I kind of just say the ego of the brain to call itself an indefinitely complex thing will never not make me laugh. But the brain is very complex, and we don't understand it yet. So all we can do is help treat symptoms. All we can do is help people adapt and live as good and normal lives as they can.
Yes, I think so too. How can we be safe and supported when dealing with these struggles? Either on a personal level or generally.
Generally, well, I will talk about safety when it comes to narcolepsy because that tends to be a big conversation topic.
Mm-hmm.
Blacking out randomly is dangerous. There have been times where I've almost I used to be in the Scouts and we were doing a ceremony for the local mayor. I passed out on my feet and nearly face planted into the stadium floor.
Uh-oh.
It was a bit scary, but yeah, what you call it? Safety with that, the best thing to do is, well, at least with me, always keep yourself doing something, even if it's something as small as chewing gum, and that helps with focus and ADHD as
Mm-hmm.
well, because I should have mentioned this way sooner. Narcolepsy is the root of some ADD problems. I'm ADHD, but without the hyper. That would be my brother.
Mm-hmm.
He got the hyper. What you call it? So just keeping yourself focused on something. Chewing gum, fists on a steering wheel, humming to a song, even like karaokeing your heart out in a car. I will do that all the damn time, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. And more people should admit that because I know everybody does it. I'm not insane. But, what you call it? Yeah. And as for keeping safe with anxiety, that's the tricky one because people are people. They're unpredictable to their core, and someone who with anxiety who at least in my experience, like to be a bit more controlling of their encounters. Yeah, that is a very hard sell. Hey, come meet this person that can do literally anything. Raising eyebrow, literally anything. There's a really hard sell to someone who's scared of many, many possibilities. But the best way to deal with it is, at least in my experience, it's been exposure therapy. It's been forcing myself in. I am very well aware that does not work for everybody. So the best thing you can do for yourself, if you have not found a good method, is experiment. Always try something new and find what works for you. Because there's no one solution for everybody, but everybody should have at least a few solutions that help mitigate.
Yeah. How would you say your narcolepsy and I guess what'd you call it? Social paranoia?
Social anxiety.
Social anxiety affects positively or negatively in streaming or recording?
Well, being as editing last night, I woke up on my table. I could tell you how the narcolepsy affects it. Because the behind the scenes stuff, behind the screaming at video games and laughing with friends, there is a very quiet time where you're sitting, you're editing, you're sifting through VODs and whatnot, and that could be a bit of a risk with the Hat Man coming to collect my liver, and by that I mean. But yeah, what you call it? And anxiety has made actually. Weirdly enough, in finding my anxiety, the streaming has helped my anxiety. It's really helped my social anxiety because it is on the broadest scale the way I could do my own like exposure therapy. I am putting myself out there for literally anybody to come and say hi to, and that to me is terrifying, but all the same gratifying because hey, I've met some pretty neat people through streaming back in the back in my day. God, I'm trying. Yeah, I met some other Vtubers and we played Valorant all the time. Granted, they were in Japan and I was in the US, so my lag was, as the kids say, a dookie dog ass. But yeah, it's a really good way to meet more people, and it's a really good way to put myself out there in a way that I wouldn't otherwise.
Yeah, I feel like it's done the same for me and my anxiety, especially doing this series where I'm collabing with a bunch of people. Like some I know, some I don't, some I'm learning to like meet and stuff, and it's been like scary, but like honestly it's helped a lot, like a lot. Just learning to talk with people, and all that stuff, it's helped.
Might I say you're doing an amazing job.
Thank you. Do you think it's a trait or a handicap?
That's a really good question. Because I can complain about it all I want, but in the end, it's what makes me. And despite all the hurdles, all the passed out couches, all the friendships I missed because I was too scared to say hi, all the times I've had to pass to my friends, the interest in Warhammer that I assume the results from some sort of neurological deficiency that makes me spend $60 on boxes of plastic. I'm me, and I'm happy to be me, and I wouldn't trade me for the world. I don't mean that that sounds egotistical as hell, but you should be able to be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Especially for overcoming what you have. I'm me. I wouldn't trade that for the world. Yeah, I wouldn't cure anything that's wrong with me just because that would change who I am. And frankly, I am quite happy with who and what I am.
That's good to hear. Honestly, I feel the same way. I used to want to be a different person entirely. Like, I used to hate being myself with all the flaws and all the like little things. But nowadays, I'm really happy to be myself. I get to do like such fun things and like have such fun experiences that I probably wouldn't have if I was a different person. I wouldn't be the same if my brain was different. So I'm happy too.
You wouldn't be the same. That's
yeah.
Like, it's for anybody out there. Listen, I preach to the public. I say gesturing my hands widely. I'm still gesturing. I don't know why. I say to the public, you're, like I said before, you're gonna be stuck with you as long as you live. You should love you. Before anything else, you should love you. Now, you should always work on yourself, of course. It is imperative that you try and work out, you know, doing stuff like working out, fucking nothing else is coming to the brain, but like treating yourself every once in a while, working on things, working on flaws. Never stop working on yourself, but you know, be happy with who and what you are. The stuff that you can't change, you should probably learn to accept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have any fun like experiences or stories to tell regarding things like your narcolepsy or social anxiety or other things?
Boy, do I have stories. If Alex is still in the chat, he can forewarn you. I have a ton of stories. So, first and foremost, first time it happened, most recent time I can remember it happening in school is in middle school when I blacked out at the end of the class. I had this science teacher. He was a bit of a jokester. He was. We had this one kid who got on his nerves on the first day, so we were a small side tangent to the side tangent. There was a Bill Nye video, and there's a dog barking at him, and the guy widens his eyes and looks over to the kid, elbows him. Look, they got your mom playing in this, and like that's stuck with me ever since. So I blacked out in his class. It was the end of the day, but instead of waking me up, he felt bad. So what he did, he got everybody to leave the room quietly, and he left, which is like really considerate of him, and I really appreciate that. However, I did wake up to an empty classroom and a teacher staring at me with a blank expression, which was terrifying.
Oh no.
I like put my head down while there's some brain pop video playing at it. Shout out to Moby, my beloved orange trash can. And I'll put my head down and I get up. There's nobody in the table around me. There's like every night he stays the night he plays FNAF RRL. Yes. So I'll put my head down and I wake up and I just see my teacher staring at me. Hello, Henry. God, there's that. There's so I have night terrors as well. The reason my narcolepsy happens is because of a brain chemical imbalance. And because of that, I also don't get fully sedated when I sleep. Like, you know how your brain releases chemicals, so you don't live react to what's happening in your dreams? I live react to what's happening in my dreams. So I was over at a beach house with Mr. Capcraft Cove over there, and I was staying in a room with another friend of mine. And I forewarned everybody, hey, I've got night terrors. If you want me to take the couch, that's fine. Another buddy of ours, he goes by Antonez, walks up to me, puts his hand on my shoulder. I want to share a room with you. I want to see that happen. Okay.
Oh my God.
And he gets his wish night bloody one. So, I go to bed. I'm sleeping. I wake up. I'm screaming my lungs out like I always do. And he's like reaching out to comfort me. I throw a pillow at him. Not because I think, oh, that's a threat. I'm half awake, raw from screaming. I think, oh, he wants a pillow. Let me give him a pillow. So I get my hand behind me. I remember feeling the pillow like flop as I whip it at his face and then immediately black out. And I woke up the next morning and everybody's giving me looks because I don't remember these incidents. He started freaking out. Oh yeah, I was at another one of our friends' house, and he has a bunch of movie posters on the wall because he's got a movie room. One of those movie posters is Deadpool, like the mask. I was waking up from a night terror. I was starting to panic because I thought it was someone looking at me through a window.
Oh my.
And thank God, Cap, Al, whatever, he woke up just in time to like turn the lights on and say, it's Deadpool. It's Ryan Reynolds. That's not scary. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's Ryan Reynolds. And I go back to sleep immediately. And I don't remember it until he tells me. I've got a dozen more, but then we'd be going all night.
Well, we have literally 30 minutes, so...
Oh, we've got 30 minutes more. Oh, boy!
Yes.
I don't have any other mental health stories, but would you mind a Boy Scout story or two?
Oh, sure. I don't mind.
White man jump scare, yes. So, the Wajuice. Allow me to elaborate. We brought ramen for the first time. We are a bunch of boys in the wilderness, and we are dumb, stupid, hormonal idiots. So we make ramen, and someone has the incredible idea of scooping up the broth into a water bottle, like a water bottle that you can't see the inside of. And he goes around handing it to people and say, drink it. What is it? The Wajuice. And obviously, because we're stupid kids, we'll think, oh, the Wajuice, that's awesome. I'm going to drink that. And they just get a mouthful of ramen broth. Eventually, the camp counselor catches on, and he like gets the bottle and dumps it out. It was ice cold. It was so salty. It was still melting the snow in like a solid foot-long circle. Is that? And then there's one more I gotta tell of the pancake burritos. It was the morning after a dinner, and people were cooking pancakes, and then one man comes over and says, I have a brilliant idea. Yeah, so did Oppenheimer before making the atom bomb that we discovered. No. So he gets the spare burrito pancakes, burrito ingredients out, and he's like, what if we cook these into the pancake? And all of them looked at him, and we're like, dude, that's such a good idea, because I reiterate, dumb, stupid teenage idiots. So they cook it up, a bunch of people eat it. There was you know what a latrine is?
Yes.
There's no plumbing, it's just a hole in the ground. We had maybe a parking lot sized camping ground. The line was stretching from the latrine to the entrance of the campground. It was a disaster in there, one of which would make other atrocities look like a tea party. Yeah. Them's my scout stories.
Well, I have I guess like a social anxiety, just weird story. I think I already talked about this, but like there was this girl I really wanted to be friends with. So I didn't know she lived in my neighborhood. She was with her friends, like a friend group, and I was with my friend group, and this was Halloween, and I was like 13 and also really dumb, and so
everybody gets at that age, don't worry. We all regret our 13. That's what keeps us up at night.
So yeah, I have so many like traumatic memories from 13 years old. And so this was Halloween night. We met up, and for some reason I was so excited. I said, I'm so excited I could scream. So they said, do it. I screamed out really loud, like really loud, because it's like Halloween, right? You scream, right?
Yeah.
Right? So
frankly, I'm not seeing you've done anything wrong. You did exactly as was advertised. You were so excited you could scream, and you screamed.
I did. But then they looked at me like I had done something wrong. The echoes of my scream went down the neighborhood because I screamed so loud, and they were right next to me. They looked at me like I did something very strange. And my anxiety just skyrocketed. I felt so embarrassed. I don't even know. Like,
well, you did what was advertised.
I did what was advertised.
I just think they're unsatisfied customers and they can't get their refund. So
exactly.
You're not in the wrong thing. You screamed. You said you were going to scream.
And then there was the French toast story.
Oh, dear. Do elaborate.
So, when I was 13, I was in a home ec class, and you learn to cook in that class. So like, during this portion of the year, they would team us up, and then each of the team members would have different roles to play. Like one would be the dishwasher, one would be the cook, one would be assistant cook, and then one just does whatever. So I was fine doing whatever for most of the times, or being the dishwasher or whatever. But this time I was the cook. I was the cook.
Oh.
And so my job was to make French toast. She went over really quickly, like I mean really quickly, like the instructions. She was like, okay, there's written instructions here. You guys know what to do, right? You guys have to do this and this and this. And I don't even remember what she said because she went so fast and there was so much noise at the same time, like people talking and stuff, that I couldn't hear her. So when all was said and done, all I was left with was this little sheet of paper that was up higher than I could see it, with tiny text. So I was like,
small. I feel
yeah.
you.
Yeah, I'm 4'11". I haven't grown since then. So
I'm the small one on my group. Like I said, I'm 5'4".
That's fine. That's fine. We're both short. We both are the short. So we are the small.
Closer to the ground, but closer to ankles.
Yes, we could bite ankles, kick dicks. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. Critical point. Easy access. That's what
Easy access. So, anyway, so I was left with this little sheet of paper with this tiny text that was supposed to tell me what to do. But I was so anxious. I was so anxious, like, that, oh my god, they're gonna see me staring at this, and they're gonna know that I don't know what to do. And they're gonna, like, be watching me. And I had a crush in my class at that time. And he's gonna be watching me. He's gonna say I have no clue what I'm doing. So I decided, okay, I don't know what to do. Let's follow the instructions. Let's get the pan. Okay, we got that. Let's get the ingredients. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and now what? I had to get one of the girls to, like, help me. And she was like, okay, so now that we have the batter in the pan, you gotta dip the bread in. So I was like, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The bread is still in there. I don't know what to do.
Oh no.
You're not supposed to leave it in that long. I'm like, what did I do? What did I do? I'm like freaking out. And because now the bread is all soggy. And they're like, here, I'll help you bring it to the trash can. We gotta redo this. And I'm like freaking out. She's like holding her hands up, like cupping under the bread. And she's like, here, let's walk slowly to the trash can. I sprint to the trash can. I sprint. The batter is dripping everywhere. It is it is terrible. I throw it in the trash can. Everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy, like, why didn't you listen to her? But I was so anxious, like I was reacting based on my body. I had to redo this. I ended up giving up control to the other girls because they knew what to do. And I was freaking out. And they were like, okay, it's fine. Here, just let me do it. So then they did it. But I was still so embarrassed that when it was done, I still complained. I was like, a little soggy. And I like looked at her. I don't know why I did that. I was just so embarrassed. I felt like I had to dig at her for no reason. And they were like, why is this weird quiet kid like looking at me? Because I never talked. And I made a whole mess in the kitchen. Luckily my crush didn't notice, but he noticed the chaos. So I was completely embarrassed. And my bully was also in that class, and she noticed, and that didn't help. That did not help.
Bullies are stinky. Now we talk to people on the internet.
Yeah.
Also, I get that 100% overcorrecting after like you mess up something.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I was
lastly, I
so embarrassed.
my French toast more of a slurry, so I think you did a pretty good.
Oh no, it was sogged like all the way through. Like it was dripping. Let me drink some water.
Yeah, you should drink some. It's time to drink water.
Ignore my VTubers face. I know it looks weird when I drink water.
No, you're good. You're good. If you could see my VTuber face right now, I would look like I would look schizophrenic. I'm looking all over the place all the time.
But yeah, that was the French toast story. I like overcorrect and I get so anxious. I just react based on my body, and it turned out bad.
It's the lizard part of the brain screaming, "Go, go, go! Fix,
yes.
Fix, quick now! Yeah!" It's, like, it's a little reptilian part of your brain that goes into survival mode for no reason.
Yeah, it was like survival mode. Like I need to do this now, but the survival mode part of your brain doesn't know how to do things like nicely or elegantly. It kind of just like freaks out and is like, okay, bread go in bin, run to bin. Bread go in, bread go in, bread go in.
Bread go in.
Bread go in.
You're thinking like a mile a minute. You don't have a moment.
Yeah.
That's why it's really good if someone's having a panic attack to start talking to them quickly and slowly bring your voice down, so that you can like match their pace, match how they're thinking, and then slowly bring them back to earth.
Yeah.
Nice, a little bit of advice I was taught.
Yeah. Do you have any like social anxiety experiences? Like
most of it was just being a hermit through middle school, just because I didn't know. You mentioned like no people thought you were the quiet kid. Nobody.
Yes.
Like half of my grade thought I was mute leaving middle school.
Yeah, I've had people be like, "Wow, she talked. This is the most I've heard you talk. Oh my gosh."
People figured out I could talk because I went to a town hall meeting and I spoke up against something I didn't like. And they saw that in the news because for some reason I made the news, and I hated that it made the news because people saw me. Dude, I had green hair back then. I was a mess.
Bro, I had blue hair.
Dude, what was the worst part is when like it's starting to wash out, it gets in all your nice white stuff, and like you got strawy hair. I wouldn't recommend it. I've got like
that's what happened to me.
Best I can describe it is the Jesus do right now. The moist critical hair, long wavy hair, long wavy hair. But yeah, what you call it? They figured out I could talk, and then some of them approached me like, "Hey, you're able to talk?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have been this entire time." And they were looking at me like it was a revelation, like I just unearthed the voice.
That's what happened to me, but except like even afterwards I wouldn't really talk. I would be like, yeah, but then I would be like, I'd go back to being quiet again because I was too shy.
I prefer listening to talking a lot of the time. Like, there's so much more you could glean from listening. It took a few people at my workplace as well to realize I could talk, a little bit to realize I could talk, because I don't tend to talk back in conversations. I'll usually just kind of listen. It's kind of because I don't have much to provide outside of like I said, I'm a Warhammer fan. Terrible illness, I know. So usually I'll have stuff to. I could go on for hours about that. But yeah, not much else. People ask me questions, I'll answer. I know I slip into customer service in the mode when talking to people as well, which is like I'll give automated responses. Sometimes someone will be like, "Hey, where are the screwdrivers?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, my day is fine. How about you?" With 100% like certainty.
Oh yeah, sometimes I'll be like, "And you?" Or like I would be like, "You too," when they're saying like, "Here's your drink. You too." And I'd be like, "Wait a minute."
I did that with the flight because me and a few other buddies are going to Indiana, Alex and included. We will never forget what the Chinese buffet did to us. And like, so I had a problem, and the person was like, I went back on my own to go get it fixed. I'm like, okay, that should be resolved. Enjoy your flight. I'm like, yeah, you too. And he just gives me a look like we both know I messed up. He doesn't want to point it out. I don't want to point it out. So we just leave and never exchange a word again. I will never.
Exactly. But you will always remember it.
Exactly.
Like, I did this thing again. Why did I do it again?
It's the chances you see these people again are zero, but you will always remember that one time you told the waiter to enjoy their food as well.
Yeah, I've like people are like, enjoy your ride, and I'm like, you too. They're not going on the ride. It's just me.
I'll say good morning in the evening if I've been there long enough, and I'll get a few weird looks for it, but some people will just say good morning back, which is somehow more concerning.
Yeah. What else? Okay. I've had like let's see, like social anxiety stories or something. I've had like little things like here and there, just like me like freaking out and like things like that. That was mostly when I was younger. My least favorite thing is when I live upstairs and I'm called down to meet the relatives. And I don't want to meet the relatives because then I have to say hi, and then it's awkward because I don't know what's next, and then they're just smiling at me and I'm smiling, but then we're smiling too long because we don't know when to quit smiling. And like I've already exchanged my hugs, so then I'm just standing there very awkwardly.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up relatives because I get to bring up my absolute unit of a Nana now. It doesn't have to do with mental health because she's broken me once. Jokingly, of course, but she's broken me once. So my Nana, she's a very old Italian woman. I'm very glad I'm part of an Italian family because I was kind of desensitized to family gatherings when young. We have like 20 people and that side of the family is only growing bigger. So I'm very much used to crowded spaces and whatnot. Thanks specifically to that. I have two stories about her. One is a smaller one, but I was at a gathering for like Christmas, right? And we were all gathered around. My brother had brought his girlfriend because my brother is a ladies' man. He's gonna punch me for saying that, but he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. He dates people. And so my Nonna will come up to me later in the evening and she'll go, "Hey, someone, I do not care if it is guy or gal, just bring back anyone." And I'm like, I'm very glad you're accepting, but goddamn, is that a kick to the ball? It sounded so desperate, I felt bad. And there was another time, the eel story. Alex has heard the eel story 1,000 times, but when I was young, she brought in an eel, right? Like a live eel in a bucket. The plan was to cook it. I was not made aware of this plan. What she did was she set the eel down in the living room and said, "Go play with the eel." So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go play with the eel. And I found a bond with this eel. I'm a simple man. I see an animal that likes me. I appreciate it.
No.
No. And I'm like playing with the eel.
I
like,
love
eels. My
eels.
hand, and I'm like, oh wow, this is what Ariel feels like all the time. This is awesome. And then she takes the eel away. I'm like, oh okay, she's putting it back. I come out later, eel pasta right in the middle of the table.
No. No, bro, I would be so upset. I love eels. I knew where this was going, but like,
like I mentioned, she takes it out of the oven, no gloves, because this woman's hands. She terrifies me. Her hands are.
Oh my god!
She can just take things out of the oven, puts it on the table. Eel pasta.
Just casual eel pasta. No.
Internally, that was my reaction, but like, I didn't say a word. I.
Did you take a bite?
No, I didn't take a bite.
Be like crying and like, it tastes so good.
Internally, you know, like the fucking shell-shocked soldier expression. That was
Oh my god. You've seen things.
While we're on the topic of her, there was a picture of her holding a full-sized octopus like by the head, and I can't help but imagining she just reached into the ocean and grabbed it out because she was like,
oh my god,
squeezing the thing. Yeah,
so brutal.
I'm glad I got an excuse to bring her up. Love her to death. She scares me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I haven't been used to like family gatherings, except for like, you know, like base like family, like grandparents and stuff like that. Except for one time, because my mom's side is Colombian and they have lots and lots of family relatives. So one day we were forced to like go to this family gathering. The thing is, she never taught us Spanish, so so we were stuck at this gathering with a bunch of like far like distant like relatives and like cousins and stuff. And we had like no idea what was going on. We tried making friends, but it didn't really work because they didn't speak English and we didn't speak Spanish, so it was very awkward. That was like the one time we had like a big like family gathering, but like ever since then it's like I didn't want to like meet new people because I was like, this is just so awkward. Don't make us meet. Yeah.
I don't want to be here no more.
I guess you can say that is an electrifying experience. That's a completely different eel. No.
Yeah, no, actually, I was getting electrified by the eel the entire time, and that's the root cause of all my problems.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it just rewired your brain.
Yeah, I'm being sarcastic, but what you call it? God, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I get that. My mom is the first, not even, she was the first one of her siblings to be born in America, so we are all first-gen American. My entire family mostly speaks Italian. Like, to give you an indicator as to how Italian you are, you know that pinching motion some Italian people do? Like, you know how you pump your fists in the air at a dubstep, right?
Yeah.
I had an aunt who was doing the pinching motion in the air during a dubstep song.
Oh my god.
We are very Italian. I understand.
Mamma mia.
Yeah, I understand mange because that is the word for eat, and she tells me that a lot. She loves to cook. I've got to get her pasta recipe sometimes. It is so good. She loves to cook.
Yeah, authentic Italian pasta.
Yeah, because the rest of the family has like a sauce making day where they just all go and like make the sauce. Once again, she does that barehanded, which like handling boiled water with it.
Oh my god.
Not at all. Like alarming to me at this point. But yeah, there's also speaking foreign languages. If you don't mind me going on a side tangent right quick.
I don't mind.
My YouTube and Spotify do not know what language I speak. I work in a hardware store. And because of that, I get a lot of Spanish-speaking people, and I get a lot of Russian-speaking people. So half of my ads on YouTube and Spotify are in Spanish and Russian. I've never searched anything up in any of those languages. I know Apple McBiteman is listening to me, because otherwise, why am I getting a Spotify ad in Russian for, I don't know, workout supplements? I'm not Russian, and I'm not working out.
I swear sometimes it's like listening though.
It is. It is. I've searched for 3D printers. I got nothing but 3D printer ads. I go to build a computer. I get nothing but computer ads. I have my special interests. Suddenly they're like, would you like to buy our little plastic army man? I'm like, I would, but my paycheck won't allow.
Like sometimes I even talk about some stuff and then boom, I get some ads for it. Or like I'm talking about like Cookie Run with my friends, and like suddenly I get like Cookie Run ads, even though I don't play the game. I don't do anything like related to it. She just likes Cookie Run, but because I talked about it with her, now I get ads for it.
I don't know what Cookie Run is. It seems halfway between like a deeply in-depth story game and like a Temple Run style runner.
It is. It's
so not sure the two could coexist, but
it's I don't even know. It's like weirdly in depth for something that's simple as cookies running away from witches, and like there's like a whole story. It's like so weird.
Okay, if the Fortnite lore can go crazy, the cookie lore can go crazy.
Exactly. Your phone is listening. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I never understand the conspiracy theories behind tracking chips, because we keep the best tracking chip in the world on us all the time.
And what is that?
A phone.
Oh, true. Yeah. Oh, yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's like I don't remember. There was like something I was talking about, and the next day I get like ads for it, and I was like freaked out. Or like we were talking about like personal stuff, and then I get ads for like therapy.
Oh.
I was like, geez, okay. What are you trying to say?
When ads give you therapy, that's how you know you really hit it wrong.
Yeah, like some Or like I get ads where it's like at my age, like for my age group, like, are you 22 years old and are you interested in like graphic design? Look no further. And I hadn't put anywhere that I was like 22 or that I was interested in graphic design, except for like talking about it. So I was like, what the heck?
It's freaky. I get stuff for that as well. I'm turning 20 this coming weekend. I'm still not over that, by the way. I'm not ready.
Oh my gosh.
I get like stuff for like young adults getting into the working field. Are you 18 or 19 looking to the field? How about a graphic design? Workflow, finances,
Yeah.
so on and so forth. And I'm like, leave me alone, please. I'm happy at my minimum wage job for now. I like selling tools to people. I sell tools. I sell you the hammer and your hammer.
The hammer.
Be happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like college stuff now. I've literally changed like majors. Like this is my third change, because before it was game programming, then it was because I did game programming for 3 years, and then afterwards I was like, I can't do this anymore. So then because everyone was better than me, and I felt like embarrassed about like the stuff I was turning in. So like I switched to graphic design, but then they were like, oh, you're gonna have to do another 3 years at the school I was going to. And then this school said, oh, you'll have to do another 3 years also. So I was like, okay, how many years if I do art? 2 years. Okay, I'm gonna do art. So I switched to art, and I have like so many years of college now.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with this.
But you know, I get it. My major is still game design. I'm still working on that.
Mm-hmm.
I do understand computer wrangling can be a nightmare, but that's why they'd pay us to do it.
Yeah. It wasn't that I was bad at it. It was more like I was just so burnt out, honestly. And then I was comparing myself to like these two genius programmers in my grade, I guess, in my class. And so it made me feel really bad. That's why I switched, but I still want to do game stuff a little bit here and there.
Yeah. Because Unreal Engine is free and there's nobody stopping you from making something.
Oh gosh, I hate Unreal Engine though. We had to use it.
That's what I work in? Dude,
I like Unity.
I got my game to work. My instructors would make fun of me to the last day because my code, we use like the
blueprint
behavior nodes, right?
Oh,
The
yeah.
blueprints. My instructors actually despised me that year because I had no notes, no annotation. I knew where everything is. God help you if you tried to look and figure out where it was. It was a spaghettified mess, and they were like, I was like, oh yeah, I have a bug, and they'd look at me dead in the eyes and say, you pointed out for me, I'm not digging through this. But like, they hated me. That they were making fun of me for it the entire time after. Some guy was like, oh yeah, anything I could do to improve my coding? Well yeah, you could add notes, glares in my direction for a solid minute.
Not like this guy. This guy over here.
Not like this barbarian over here.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but I was okay at it. I wasn't the best at it, but like I always put myself down, like because I wasn't the best at it. I always wanted to be the best at it, but like I would see like all my peers get like awards and like always get praise, and then I was sitting here in the corner with this other guy that kind of also sucked. I'm sorry to say. He also kind of sucked. But his was more of because of he was like stubborn and didn't want to like improve half the time and only wanted to do his own thing. Me, it was just because I was kind of okay at it, but I wasn't like the best.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
It's 100% okay not to be the best. Like,
yeah.
I'm in a group of artists. I always compare my art to theirs. You're always going to be your own harshest critic.
Yeah.
There's so many flaws in your stuff that you're only going to notice that everybody else is not. For example, if you look at the back broken horn of my avatar, I accidentally copied it over, meaning it does not move with the boiled line. You probably wouldn't notice that.
I didn't notice.
Yeah. So you're your own worst critic. You get to notice stuff like that, and so only you get to put yourself down for it. Sometimes it's best to just kind of put it out there and take others' opinions for it.
Yeah.
in the end, they'll give you a better view than yourself. A lot of people tend to think they have a positive, like a self bias. A lot of people have a negative self bias.
Yeah. I think.
You know,
Oh, sorry. So, what was I gonna say? Dang it! No.
That's a good question. I don't know.
No. Okay, so let me try to remember. Maybe you talk first, and I'll try to remember.
I was gonna say you're the only person who knows how many eggs you accidentally cracked over the countertop when making a cake. Nobody else can really tell. Not unless you point it out.
Or if you use like way too many eggs, like way too many.
Personally, I prefer eating a stack of just raw eggs, but we'll.
Squump.
I love fun words like that.
I know. Squump.
Blubber knuckle.
Hello, Jelly Rolls. Hello.
Great. Gibberish is my favorite language.
Scrumpus. Scrumpus. Bro, I named my cat Soup. I don't know where that came from, but like, I named my cat Soup.
Dude, it's a baller name.
I know. It's so cute, because now we're like, oh, Sopita de Ongo.
In my old friend group, the one that wound up leaving me behind, they had a cat named Concrete, and I missed Concrete.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Cobblemon. I love Cobblemon. I've been playing that a lot.
Cobblemon is awesome, and Nintendo is not awesome for trying to get rid of it. I think Nintendo should not get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Cobblemon. It's really nice. Anyways, we're so distracted.
Yeah. You're very off topic.
Yeah. This goes into our ADHD and ADD.
Yeah, ADHD. It's I've read the patch notes actually. It's now classified under ADD. The patch notes. I'm such a fucking dork.
Yeah, new world update.
New world. Yeah. The mental health patch notes just came out. I hope ADHD got the buffs it needed.
Yeah, so this goes into how we get distracted. This happened like last episode too, where me and Hikarian both got like really distracted because we also have ADHD.
Yeah.
It's just so every time you get two of us with ADHD together, we're gonna get distracted. We're gonna go off topic, but it's really fun.
It's like a journey, like a road trip. You have no idea where you're gonna wind up.
Yeah. I don't even know if I have ADD or ADHD, because nowadays I get more of a hyperactivity when I didn't used to. So now it's kind of ADHD, but
yeah, no, I'm still, brain underproduces the energy chemical, so I'm always kind of sort of EBCD, which leads me to be getting especially delirious later at night when I'm uber EBCD.
Oh yeah, I get super sleepy like all the time, but now I get like restless. Like I have to be doing something all the time, otherwise my brain is not satisfied. It's weird.
You know when like you leave your phone screen alone for a while and it turns off?
Yeah.
That's me.
That me.
That me.
Me.
What you call it? I'm pretty sure. I don't know the first time I blacked out in front of my friends, but they could probably tell you that story. I know you're group mates with Alex, so if you want to pester him enough, he could probably tell you that story. Because I don't know the first time I blacked out in front of him.
Let's see if he answers, if he's here. I'm not sure if he's here. Maybe.
Speaking of him, you would be in that podcast, yeah?
Yes. Actually, we talked about Warhammer last episode.
I am the source of that infection.
Yes.
I am patient zero.
You're patient zero.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I want to bring it up at some point. I would be more than happy to explain that to all of you and share my weakness with you all at some point.
You'll like forcibly like take us into like the VC and you're like, here's Warhammer time. Here's lore.
Dude, I would need several hour sessions to get through it all, but those would be several hour sessions where I'm smiling ear to ear.
Yeah, we talked about the ogres, the orcs, and then the dwarfs.
The space. Oh yeah, that's going in the book. Did you talk about the Ogren as well?
I don't think so. Just the orcs.
If as we closed out if I talked about Ogren for a little bit.
All right. Yeah, we are almost done, so you may talk. You may talk.
About the Ogren. So, in 40k, there are some human species who have evolved on worlds outside of our own because they were separated for a very long time and they grew up under different circumstances. Prison planets with high gravity, what you call it, wound up making really big, really stocky guys. They're called Ogren. Ogren not smart. Ogren not say things more than 3 syllables. Ogren listen to Big Hat Man. Big Hat Man gives sticker and rations. Serve Emperor. They're basically, you know Lenny of Mice and Men, right?
No.
Okay, so they are big, well-meaning, lovable dumb brutes. They are 9 foot on average, about 400 to 600 pounds of muscle, and they have the mentality of a toddler. What you call it? Their weapons either have 500 or 500 rounds because they can't count above their finger. They get snacks and stickers as rewards for battles because they're very simple. They think all of their orders come from their god himself because they can't comprehend a chain of command. So it's like, oh, I gotta go secure this point? God told me to do it. I gotta go do it. And they're very claustrophobic. They will charge down a horror beyond the comprehension of man without second question, but they will not go into a crowded ship, even if you like tell them there's snacks inside. I just love them to death. They're lovable little big guys.
Yes, great. I love all the different races so far that I'm learning about because they all have their own little quirks. They're very silly.
Those are technically humans. They're just a little bit different.
Yeah.
They're called abhumans.
Abhumans. Nice.
I'll get to explain them further.
Okay.
You can probably tell I'm frothing at the mouth.
maybe next time, because it is an hour and 7 minutes. So.
Okay, gotcha.
Warhammer collab after vacation, please.
Yes, I want to get a bunch of people in for a Warhammer class now.
That'd be fun. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. As usual, all my links are under exclamation point links. That's exclamation point LNKS. So you can find my Discord as well as all my other links. And when I post the YouTube video, you could find Butter's links in the description below. So yeah.
Could you do me a massive favor?
Yes.
And instead of linking my Twitter, could you link Rick Ashley is never going to give you up? That would be really awesome.
All right. I'll do that. I'll remember.
Because I think that'd be really awesome. Because I don't want you going to Twitter. I want you going somewhere more fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that. Thank you all for watching.
You
all better be taking care of yourselves out there. You hear me?
Yes.
I'm gonna add a new house to your garage with my beater car if you don't take care of yourself. This is a threat.
You're gonna add a new house to your garage?
I'm gonna add a new garage. I'm gonna add a new a garage to their house. I'm gonna drive my beater car through your wall.
There we go.
For war.
There we go. All right, see you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.